Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Melody of the Maelstrom. We're going to start everything off with some announcements here. I have not scrolled to the top of the document, and I'm buying some time, so we're going to start again. Welcome, everyone, to Melody of the Maelstrom, where a bunch of real-life bards play Dungeons & Dragons. Before we roll the starting titles, we do have a few sponsors that we need to shout out. Starting first, thank you to our first sponsor with D&D Beyond. If you want to have all your resources conveniently in one place, that's not worded correctly. Do you hate math? Look no further. D&D Beyond has all the digital resources you could possibly need, including books, dice, and the ability to homebrew you to your heart's content. Our second sponsor is FX May Vary, an awesome local band from Newmarket, Ontario. They specialize in making sure you always have your daily prescription of hard rock. Feel free to listen to our music on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you are most comfortable listening to your most favorite tunes, and feel free to follow us on Facebook for show dates and announcements. Check out our new song, Torn, that will be available to stream on Saturday, and remember, as always, individual effects may vary. There is also our Patreon, where we have a tier for every level of generosity, what includes being shouted out at the end of this game, as well as all the others, or voice acting lessons with one of the other talented players in one of our other games. And of course, we have merch. Do you want a sweater, a shirt, or maybe even a mouse pad with that awesome Dire logo? ? And we have Pride merch. Even though it is no longer Rainbow Month, we will always show our colors. We also have t-shirts, sweaters, and sweatpants, stickers, and tank tops. So go ahead and check out that merch page where you can find whatever your heart desires. Title credits.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We apologize for the month-long break that we ended up taking, but American Thanksgiving is a thing, and we hope that all of our American friends enjoyed it. So the last we left off, all of that time ago, the party had just found these 3 ancient tomes and spent the vast majority of the session reading those books. Wherein Fidget did an amazing job doing all of that reading, and we still appreciate everything that he did. If you haven't seen that, you should go check it out because it's awesome. Anyways, while he was doing all of that reading, Bavidius and Berempazar went to go find whether or not they could locate a Mr. Hector Windlance, and realized that he had escaped into the storm on some sort of arcane flying machine that they most assuredly were not expecting. Before they returned, wherein a conversation was had with Father Embaro about the mysterious origins of the book that he carries so closely with him. And upon touching it, Bavidius was given a vision of his entire clan being massacred by a blue dragon. And at the end of that particular session, the entire party gathered together and made a pact to end this dragon's life once and for all. And that is where we left off. I cannot believe I remembered all of that. It's been a while.
I was gonna say, did you write that down?
No. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, my brain does work. Sometimes.
I too
Also,
am
like my
impressed
sweater,
you
'cause it's
remembered
awesome.
your own game, Charlotte.
I remembered my own game. It's great.
Well, I believe we left off agreeing to get absolutely smashed on a lot of the fine alcohol that we had uncovered.
That's a lot of money,
And
though.
and wind up with a long rest at the end of it. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Yeah, we took a long
that
rest.
sounds
My health's back
that
up.
sounds fine.
All right. I'm gonna hit that long rest button.
Hey!
Hey, thank you, thank you.
None of you get a hangover.
Yes,
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
I was waiting for that.
So party boon and a party bane. Okay. I usually ask you guys what you want for a boon. So toss some ideas at me while I think of a bane.
Ooh, a nice clear sky for our walk out of the city.
How about max hit points when healing with healing?
I'm fine with that one.
Sure.
Because the other
Hell
one's probably an impossibility.
That's kind of what I thought.
I don't give miracles, man. That's a boon, not a wish. Okay.
But a beacon
Chill.
of hope I will take.
Bane.
The Bane, but you take maximum damage on the weapon.
But you say
Have fun.
What is a good Bane? Somebody tell me in the chat. I want a good Bane. I'm looking.
All right.
Pizza
So
party. That's what I'm saying. Pizza party's the bane.
That's not a Bane. That is
You don't get your Christmas bonus. You just get a pizza party.
had we concluded all of our business in the library?
the
We
Liberator.
finally have. Yes.
I mean, you guys left it, so I would hope so.
I have very little I mean, we ended in.
I believe there
where
were
were
some.
we? There was a
I
table.
believe there were some fairly significant, substantial investigation checks that left us confident we had exhausted the resources of the library.
We have a
And
winner
we-
for the boons, by the way. Or the Bane, sorry. The Bane is all of you smell, and you have disadvantage on charisma checks for the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
I always have advantage on charisma checks. So, were we departing the city proper? Then?
We had just agreed to get on our high horses and find a dragon. Doesn't have to be the
So
right
right now-
dragon. Just has to be a blue dragon.
A dragon. Fuck any dragon in particular right now.
We are specifically hunting that big dragon.
You know, you guys were halfway through killing a red one, and it's like, wasn't it blue? Just let him have this, man. Just
Mm.
So, as we all wake up and rub our foreheads, I'll start getting my kit together and start preparing for a long march.
Is it still a torrential downpour outside?
absolutely. You guys spend the entirety of the night just hearing the occasional anxiety-inducing rolls of thunder that kind of just punctuate everything that you were doing in this moment. This storm is ever present, and you guys do manage to ignore it within those certain times where you are in conversation or in combat, but it is constantly present and always eager to remind you that it is there.
So, as everyone's making preparations in the morning, Embaro will pour over the contents of his book and prepare, spells that prove her day and all that. And we'll go ahead and augury, and we're gonna ask whether or not this is a good idea.
I think you need to be more specific.
Well, the specific action that we're going to be taking is we're going to be setting off to hunt ourselves a dragon. That's what I'm inquiring.
Okay.
Assuming we're like 30 minutes away from that, because the spell limit is 30 minutes before, so I'm going to time it that.
Well, I mean, yeah, you guys are about 30 minutes away from leaving in order to do this. So, like,
Sure.
that's essentially, you get the idea that that's the gist of the answer that you're going to get. So you flip to a blank page in your book, and you write out the question, and you watch as the ink just disappears into the page, just like bleeds into just this cloud of ink and then recedes into the page before it reforms as a single word and appears in front of you. Yes.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to approach our two healers and ask them both to Sir Domino, oh my god, it's been so long I've forgotten Andrew's name.
Rendell.
Rendell. Too many
This is a
names
lot
going
of
through my
games,
head.
guys. Don't hold it against them.
Well, you don't have to worry about me because last time Norman over here said I wasn't a healer. So we have one healer.
It was just a
Yikes.
jest. Just a jest.
I was
Well,
just
given
kidding.
your skill when we were pulling the point of that dagger out of her side, I would conclude that as much as it would land as a joke, you are indeed a healer among the greatest. I would appreciate both of your insights as to whether or not she is ready to travel.
I mean, you can ask her, but I have a feeling she's going to go either way. So
She will tell me she is ready, no matter how medically fit she might be.
I mean, she can shapeshift, yeah.
I'm gonna nod and gesture to Nyx to come and join us. Sergeant, would you join us for a moment?
She's still asleep, which is probably why she wasn't privy to this conversation.
Oh.
Otherwise, she would have commented.
Yeah, good
Talking
point.
about her while like she's not there.
I'll gently wake her up.
Okay. She wakes up in the manner that is pretty common for her, which is she rolls over with just one fist bunched up, like just ready to clock out whoever it is that had the audacity to wake her from her slumber.
Save it for the enemy. How are you feeling?
Fine, sir.
That wound in your side, does it still pain you?
No.
Insight check.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
That's a 5.
How
This
dare you
game
betray me like this?
Fucking hates me.
That's only a 12. It's not much better.
No! Nyx is part of the
You okay?
party! So she gets disadvantage! What the hell, guys? That's a 2. That's a 2. With her 0 to charisma. That is a 2.
How fine is she?
Not at all.
Oh, she's fine.
She still has 3 levels of no, 4 levels of exhaustion.
Damn, even after this long rest?
Yep. It only so how exhaustion works is you long rest and you remove 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah, but I thought we'd taken 2 or 3 by now.
Nope, you guys have taken
her
1.
injury.
Nope. She has taken 1 long rest because she slept and then woke up and you guys were reading the books and everything. So she's only rested once.
Oh, okay, I see. So she didn't lose a point for that first rest.
Oh, she did lose a point for that first rest. Yes. She was at 5. Now she's at 4.
But we just took a second rest.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Now
What?
she's at 3 because I can count. See?
So
Wait.
And this, folks, is
There it
why we love
goes.
D&D Beyond.
There it goes. I did
Because we hate
so
math.
well. And then everybody enjoyed
How many
watching
toxic
Charlotte's
counters
brain
does she
shit itself on camera. I can count to 5. I just can't subtract from 5.
This is why I hate infect.
All right. So seeing through her facade, I will say,
And yeah, it definitely still hurts.
Yeah.
Like you ask about it, and she almost winces because now she's been, when like it doesn't hurt until you think about it, and now that you've got her thinking about it, like it definitely fucking hurts.
Yeah. So I'll look at her and I'll say, "Is there anything I could say that would keep you here for one more night?"
You could certainly try.
I have no
Break
desire
out
to
of
do
Doom.
so. We must make our way. I only ask that you be honest with our healers and rely on their aid should you need it.
Sure.
Very good. Make ready to travel. We have a dragon to hunt.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Rendell, as the healer of the party, is Nyx in condition
tries.
to travel?
He's
Would
trying
she
so
be of
hard.
would she be of any use with a sword or a blade if we needed her in the direst of circumstances?
Did you hear that, Nix?
Yeah, pretty
What's
ballsy.
your answer?
Don't worry about it.
You heard the lady?
So be it. I do have a question concerning this blue dragon we're about to hunt. Have we determined that this particular blue dragon is indeed um, part of this, what I would let's say, conspiracy of the blue folk?
I
The
mean,
blue folk.
Blue folk.
I
In so
mean,
much as they summoned it,
yeah,
right, Rendell?
So
that. So I would say
At the
yeah.
very least, it's worth investigating.
last time we
Yeah.
encountered it, we were at the shoreway, and it was quite rocky. Perhaps its lair is in the area.
Well, that is possible. The connection seems too coincidental to ignore. That it would immediately light upon us, upon the horn having been blown, and that it would then proceed to ravage so specifically uh, people close to us. And you see him fighting it back, being too specific about who those people were.
Well, it might be a good place to start, see if there's a lair. Although I'm not the greatest when it comes to rock climbing, cliffs suspended over water.
I have some modest skill in tracking from my time on the plains. However, never have I been called upon to track a dragon, let alone track it back to its lair. I do not know that I would
Are
be
we
of
assuming that the
much use
dragon
to
is the
it.
cause of the storm?
Cause or effect, it is certainly a problem. A problem not
Well, in
only
any
for us, but
case,
for all the people of the countryside surrounding the city.
yeah. So I'm saying we're tracking it to the sea, where the storm would be.
Do you think
You
it's a
must
spell? Is there a spell powerful enough to modify the weather?
I mean, yeah. That's a bit of my wheelhouse, but it is
I
possible.
assume druids are versed in that sort of thing.
Indeed. What facility have you with such magics, Rendell?
Uh, Nothing right now is going to help with a storm outside. Unfortunately.
I was afraid of that. One way or the other, this is not, it is high time we made our way beyond these city walls. Let us take caution. Stay close together, lest the lightning find us, and make our way beyond the city gate.
Well,
I
I
mean-
vote we explore the cliffs.
I was going to say that the sewer system here is rather extensive. Maybe there's a tunnel we can find that takes us outside the walls.
Actually, that
But
might
we don't
not be a
have-
terrible idea. Where does it flow to? It would have to be dumped somewhere. How close to the sea are we? Could we traverse to the river, to the sea, through the sewer?
I'll bet it does. That's a good point. That's a great idea.
When last
Rather-
we traversed the sewers 3 days ago, it was near to flooding, and the rain has
Oh,
not
that's a bummer.
ceased.
Uh,
There may
Fair
be no
enough.
ingress for us to the sewer at this point.
But if we're outside, don't we have to contend with lightning?
that's what the halberd there is for. That
Yes, good
Yeah,
Master
Hector.
Windglass has armed us against the worst of the storm.
Very
I feel-
fortunate.
I would feel most comfortable traveling above ground.
and let's set to it.
Well, could we at least check out the area we first encountered the blue dragon to see if there's any clues or tracks?
Certainly.
Perfect.
Is there any objection to investigating the cliff? Speak now.
Nope.
Then away. And I'll grab my kit and start heading for the door.
Love it.
Love this energy.
All right.
As usual, as soon as we exit the barracks, everybody got to cluster around the wind lance. Every time I catch a third lightning bolt, I'm just going to find the nearest inanimate object to dispel things against.
You could dispel the lightning from the halberd?
Yeah, the way that it works, like the magical item, it can store up to 3 charges. But if it takes any more lightning after that, without expending those
explode.
charges, it might explode, and it's probably going to hurt me even if it doesn't. So
Could you
I just need to make a weapon attack to dispel the lightning charges that are stored in the weapon.
so you could use that against a foe?
I can, and I have. I think actually
Okay.
No, you were with us when we fought Major Rembrandt. I think you were with us.
And you electrocuted it with the halberd.
I sure did.
Okay.
Dumped it right into his face.
I was in the fog of battle. Well, very good. You lead the way.
You got this, bro.
So, so that's just my my course of action. Just keep catching them bolts and dispersing the lightning before it explodes.
Okay. So while Kyle dies on screen,
It's okay. I'm almost out of it.
you only gather 3 charges.
Hmm.
So
I'll
Where
disperse one
exactly-
of them into the nearest inanimate object for safety.
okay. Are you guys going directly to the cliffs, or are you guys going to travel a little bit out of town and then investigate the cliffs? Essentially, what I'm asking is, are you returning to the place where you first interacted with this dragon, or are you trying to get out of town a little bit first and then trying to interact with this dragon? I mean, the cliff. Obviously,
I
the
would-
dragon's not.
I would say that the quickest possible route so we can avoid as many of this lightning bolts and terrible weather as possible. So straight to where we first encountered it.
Yeah, that's what I
Although-
understood the course of action to be.
We'll go up stealthily and perhaps somebody should scout ahead.
Oh no, you said the S word.
I think I can handle that without issue.
Perfect. All right, when we get close, we will have the brave scout ahead.
Father and Bar, give me a stealth check, please.
Me? No, with the bird.
Oh, with the bird. Then have your bird give you a
What do you
stealth check. Nice.
Oh,
That makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
You
right,
think I'm crazy? The dragon out there.
Maybe.
Are there be
I mean-
lightning?
A little bit.
So it's a 19.
Okay.
Stretch.
All right.
I know the raven has like a bonus. The bonus. Oh no, it does not. It
Oh
has
my
a plus
God.
2 to dex.
Scratching my
so
awesome
I guess
sweater.
it's a
look
20.
at that. All right, red dragon. That's pretty sweet.
Show you the back too.
Are
Oh, yeah.
there size bonuses
Nice.
to stealth checks in this edition?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so that
Because
would
you could
be
be
a
like the
21.
loudest hamster on the planet.
Well, I mean, like, surely a mouse would not be able to hide in a bush.
Unless it's on the creature's stat block, it's not a catch-all size thing.
Yeah. So 21 per bird.
21 is still pretty darn good. Okay,
Oops,
so I'm assuming you're looking through the eyes of your raven.
No, we can continue on. The bird can communicate with.
Okay. So you guys just continue sort of making your way towards the edge of town, essentially, while you wait for your bird to return.
You want me to roll perception checks for it, or
Yes,
it has
please.
it has a
It's-
passive
did you-
perception of 30.
You just wanted her to kind of look around, or did you give her any specific instructions? Just like,
Are we
go
waiting, or are we continuing while the scouting is happening?
I would say let's wait and get.
Oh,
a
if it's waiting, then
report.
yeah, I'll put my senses.
Okay.
So I'll
So
roll
you, yeah, go for it. With your bird though, because you're relying on your bird's vision. But I'm pretty sure your bird has advantage on perception. So
It has a +3, so that would be again a 21.
okay, yeah, no, that's So what are you looking for?
So like the obvious thing would be like tracks or big broken things or burnt. I assume like something lightning would have. Anything that would be an indication that Anger Dragon was present.
Okay. So essentially, you just kind of send her more up than in the direction of the cliffs. She does do as she's told and kind of just coast over the cliff. So you can see through her eyes, just like the vision rising above the levels of the buildings. And all you can see is just these endless black clouds over a white-capped roiling sea. Which is just stark against the pure white cliffs of this particular city. And as she continues to fly upwards, you guys can see you can see for the first time, there's this large crest on the cliff where there appears to be an altar of some sort. And all of these large, elongated black scorch marks that kind of run out from almost the edge of the cliff going inward, as if something has attacked as it was coming in from the ocean. And as she begins to circle, you can see that quite a few of the buildings in the city have been absolutely leveled. Some of them have been set aflame, but are only charged just because of the torrential downpour, which immediately put out the fires. This thing took out quite a few buildings before it left. There seems to be a pattern. It concentrated on one particular area, and you realize that was the area where you discovered the rest of the party.
Even dragons are political in 2020. Okay, so I'll recall the bird.
Mhm.
Ravens have an ability called mimicry, and they can mimic simple sounds they've heard. Charlotte, could you give me a bird's impression of thunder?
No.
It's for investigation. It's important.
Does a
Your
crackhaw
bird,
work?
your raven, sits on your shoulder and gives you a look with a vast intelligence that says, "This is beneath me."
Understandable. Have a good day.
I'm not a pretty
Okay,
parakeet.
so I will first and foremost relay the important information of everything burning to the party before indicating. I believe that the dark clouds are probably bad sign, and the boiling sea screams don't.
Not boiling, roiling, as in consistently.
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
boiling because of like the
No,
heat
it is
from
not
the
boiling.
lightning.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that.
I could totally
Um,
buy like
I mean,
enough
it's just as
lightning in the
scary if
air
the
to
sea is
boil the sea.
boiling. So, like,
I could buy.
it's more scary actually if the sea is boiling. No. Roiling. My bad.
but just to clarify, you do specify the part about how the area where you had met us was the most destroyed part of the city?
Oh, that's where. Yeah. In the. That's where the
Okay.
basement was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ran pretty like they were very close to where that little cliff altar area is. Essentially they ran to the first building that they could get to and shut themselves into it. Because
Yes,
that
there.
dragon almost murked their asses. So
I'll Bovidia says, it seems perhaps this is simply bias. It seems as if it was specifically searching for us.
How
Otherwise,
much credence do you give the idea that it's intelligent? It could be waiting.
would I know anything about dragons in general?
I can
roll me
tell
a
you.
history check. Yeah, go ahead and roll me that, but yeah, go ahead, Domino.
I mean, as a stout devotee of Bahamut, the greatest of all dragons, they are more intelligent than humans. They are the top of the food chain.
Do you suspect that the blue
Highly
dragon
intelligent.
would be waiting and staging an ambush, maybe?
Well,
Quite likely.
we know that as recently as yesterday, it was miles across not only the mountain range just on the other side of these walls, but towards the larger peaks, towards the center of the continent. How far do you think this dragon could fly in a single night?
Hundreds
That's
of
two.
miles.
Two, Sir Domino.
Hundreds of miles.
I see. In that case, it could be anywhere on the continent.
Well,
I ask the blunt, but very obvious question, sir.
Speak, Sergeant.
Did you not keep tabs on where your family were?
Yes, I know exactly
Should we
where
not
they
start
were.
there?
That is what I would like to do. It would seem logical that we should be investigating not the first place we met the dragon, but the most recent place we know where it was. And, for personal reasons, I would like to say goodbye.
Which individual had looked and didn't see anyone? Because
That
everyone
was
took a
me.
turn.
That was Rendell.
No, Rendell saw people in the book.
I saw people in the book, but I asked.
He didn't see a vision. No, the only person who got a vision was Vividius. Everybody else saw names.
I asked if I saw names of my family, and you said no.
No. Not yet.
But not yet.
Where is your family, Rendell?
Guardian Cove. They're in Guardian Cove.
I would not
I suppose we
object.
should start with Bavidius' family.
If we
But-
have
Far.
established the intelligence of this thing, and by the way, I rolled 11 on history, so I'm assuming I would have an average understanding at best of dragons.
You have an average understanding at best of dragons, but you are very aware of your
I
own
should have
memories.
taken grade 11 dragon history.
And your own memories remind you that this thing was adamantly destroying the city before it reacted as if it has heard something, before it stopped and flew off.
So recalling that, I'll say we have evidence to suggest it was actively hunting us before it was called away. Whatever intelligence guides this thing wants to destroy as many people as possible.
Okay, so I ask.
It would make sense to me that we can delay my farewells in order to prevent as many farewells as possible. I think
Very
we should
noble.
travel to Guardian Cove.
Okay. I agree.
I suspect this blue dragon's in league with the Children of the Storm.
I believe nothing short of truth to that statement. Was that English? That was English.
I think it's called common.
No, believe me, it wasn't the
So-
character asking.
Take a look at this
That
map.
was a coherent sentence, right? People understood what I was trying to. You're picking up what I put down. Yeah.
I'm catching your cold. Yeah.
I hope
Okay, she's
not.
cold. Don't do that.
You do not want the vid.
So,
Okay. So
all of you have
where-
decided to head to Guardian Cove.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so
So Rendell and Ovidius and
Mhm.
Barenthazar, were he here, I would gently remind you that all of you would be aware that the only way to get to Guardian Cove is via ship.
Boat.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the map and thought maybe we could just walk up the coast, but okay.
You can certainly try, but have fun going for a swim.
True.
I mean, you might end up swimming either way, so.
I mean, what level was that spell, anyways?
I don't know that I'd be comfortable on seas in this weather unless we are in like the greatest of war galleys. Is there such a vessel?
We should head to the docks and see what ships are shaped. That was supposed to be what ships are ship-shaped.
shapes.
I'm too thick for this.
Ships
Shapes
have
and ship
shapes.
shape. What shape for
Eh,
what shape for ship shape?
The
shape?
ship, the shape of the ship is ship shape.
we're having a good night, guys. I can't do math. Kyle can't talk. Great.
Tonight's episode brought to you by Nike.
I haven't taken the NyQuil yet.
Soon to be removed from the shelves.
Really?
I hadn't heard that.
All right.
Has
Anywho,
anyone
squirrel.
has anyone boated? My character would not have boated.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Is
been
it
on a
Rendell?
few.
Aren't you a sailor?
The not healer is also a not sailor.
I have been known to be on boats, yes.
Would you feel comfortable teaching a crew of let's not mince words, a crew of landlubbers, how to make our way through this type of storm?
If we didn't have the storm, yeah, I would have no problem with that. But I can honestly say this is the worst storm I've ever seen in my life.
That is a steep learning curve. Would there not be a dock closer to the mainland across from Guardian Cove?
Yeah, are there any like
Would
towns
we-
or settlements in that area?
There are only 7 cities.
So nobody lives anywhere, like not like villages, not like
There are-
fishing
there
shanty
are-
towns.
I mean, you know for a fact that there are like little tiny villages and stuff.
Yeah, that's what we're
because
asking.
your
Are there
family is one
any of
them.
those like around Guardian Cove that we could disembark? What's the word for make boat go?
Make boats go.
Embark.
Disembark.
Disembark
There
is
you
getting
go.
off the boat.
So,
Embark. It's
yeah,
where we
embark.
There
embark.
you go.
so
Father
the coast,
Embarco.
It's my
Guys, all right.
persona.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right. So, you guys would know that the 7 main cities are all coastal in nature. So the majority of anybody who doesn't just so happen to live in any of these cities are they're essentially they're like little shanty towns. So they're not equipped for large boats. You can certainly try, but that's a lot of rowing.
Okay, so what are our options here? One, we take a boat from here and most probably die on the way there, dashing some.
I will
Ooh.
also gently remind you that Rendell watched as all of his shipmates were murdered as every single ship in the dock was smashed
yeah.
against the cliffs.
Okay,
That would
so
be why all
probably
of
not
their
that.
names are in your book.
It makes the most sense to me that maybe we could find a vessel closer, and maybe we can find able hands to help us. I don't think we're making it from here.
Well, why do we need to leave? This city's already been prepped for whatever evil purposes they have, which I
Well,
suspect would be some evil ceremony.
Well,
Because
I think
this-
the actions
this
here.
is because
Because
the ceremony has
Bavidius'
already
family was in-
happened here.
You
And
think
there are
all the
other
deaths?
cities.
Fair enough. That's what awoke the blue dragon we seek.
Indeed, blowing their horn and speaking their fell words seemed to be the inciting incident. It seems to me that their cause is simply bloodshed. Whatever they may dress it up with. They seem to be fixated currently on death and destruction. We are unable to save anybody from those fates here. However, we have strong arms and able bodies, and no excuse not to use them.
So you believe they'll take their wave of destruction to the next town?
There's no
And
way
the
they
next,
would just stop here.
And the next, and the next.
If they got to Bavidius' family, they will get to Rendell's. They will continue. We need to
How
hold them off.
How far of a land journey is the travel to the next town?
One,
Do
two,
we know?
5, 6, 7. Looks like roughly 8 days, assuming the scale is similar to, assuming the scale matches like 1 square per day, that'd be 8 days up the coast, and then roughly 2 days across the channel.
That is correct. You are correct.
Without horses?
Without horses.
Have we checked the stables? How are your stables, Bovidus? Since you were commander, do you have the greatest of steeds?
What would I know about the stables? Other than the fact that everything else in the city is dead.
I don't know. You just
Horses
kind of
are
look
tail
like
too.
Essentially, there are stables, but they're more for it's kind of like owning a tiger. You have it not because it's useful, but simply because you can. And it's a symbol of status. Because the majority of travel between cities occurs by ship. if anybody does own horses, they are for farming. So the majority of horses are probably going to be found in another city. And if any horses are to be found here, they are more likely to be owned as status symbols rather than have any actual use.
The horses we would find there are unlikely to be suitable for much beyond tilling fields. And certainly a person of my stature and weight would not do well on the back of one of those.
We should we should take them anyway to trade for passage on a ship.
What?
What about, would they be suitable for a wagon? To pull a wagon?
I mean, they're horses. Yeah.
Oh, well,
All right,
what
so let's
say
check
you
this-
we get 2 horses and a wagon, load it up, and let's bail?
Sure.
We can attempt to find a horse.
Hail hydrate.
Ah, apparently we're like thirsty. If anybody's wondering what the hell I was doing, I kicked my desk, and that was me suffering in silence.
Well done.
Mm.
Hail hydrate. I like it.
Hail hydrate! Did you just come up with that? I love that.
No, I
No,
did not come up with that.
somebody put it in chat after he said hail hydrate.
That is
Love it.
I
Oh,
am
that
that.
is you? Oh, you are
Yeah.
that. Okay.
I love it. I love
has
it.
experience.
I'm the
Why did
Earl.
I think that was anybody else?
Okay.
All right. So
So
moving quickly, I'll leave
you
them to
guys
the
are going
stables.
to. Okay. So as you guys make your way through the storm towards the stables, that is actually where we're going to go for break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed your break. We enjoyed ours. So, the last we left off, the party was going to investigate the stables to see if they could locate any horses. Yeah, that's about the long and short of it. That's-
All right. We approach the stables. Do
All
I
right.
see anything? Do I hear anything?
So, roll me a perception check.
Yeah. Holy
Do you
shit!
perceive
22.
Hot damn. So you are pretty attuned to
Horses.
Oh, there's a kitty. Okay, I got
Horses, of
distracted by the
course.
cat. I'm so sorry. I got distracted by a cat. Listen,
We're professional.
they are. I am not. There's a cat. We're gonna talk about it. Right. So you are pretty in tune. You are pretty in tune with animals. And so you're listening to the sounds like of the storm, and essentially you can hear the cries of absolute terror that are coming from the stables. It seems that the horses are trapped inside and they don't understand what is going on, and they are absolutely terrified, and all they can do is scream.
I'm gonna turn to the party and just be like, "Holy fucking shit! There's horses alive."
Nix looks at you like, I don't think I've ever heard you swear before, sir.
I don't think I've ever been quite this shocked.
Well, let's not waste more time. We need to help him out of it.
Yeah, let's help
Agreed.
them out.
I'm gonna go and show that door the power of lightning.
The most empathy I felt all game.
You're just gonna go break the door?
Might
Yeah.
also just not breaking the door.
Okay.
Just may I make that
I-
suggestion?
Scare the
I
crap
assume
out
I
of the
have-
horses.
Scare them
Hardcore
more.
Bust through the door during a thunderstorm. They all die.
Oh, yeah. And then all of them are just like, ooh, and just.
I assume I have far enough
I'm
to
here
travel
to
that I would
save-
have had ample time to hear that. I'll turn to Rendell and I'll say, "Fine, we'll
You're
try
going-
it your way."
Well, my way is I'll have no way, but I don't think releasing horses out into the storm is going to be conducive to them living very long.
Have you ever been inside of a barn during a stampede? It turns into a meat grind.
Indeed.
Do either of you have animal friendship of some sort?
Nope.
Yes.
Next,
Kind of.
Oh, Nyx would. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but,
turn to Nyx. Go ahead.
but I'm
Go,
s-
Rendell. Go.
but I'm saying even if we get them out of there and we attach them to a wagon, lightning, lots and lots of lightning. I don't want to barbecue these horses.
We can't just leave them here.
Indeed. Horses on the open plain should be able to fend for themselves.
But
And
they're not on an open plain.
if we take one or two to pull a wagon for us, there are not so many of us that we cannot all be within the protective radius of this invention of Hector Windlands.
Radius is 10 feet.
Yep. I'm not good at math. I'm a fighter.
I did the calculations,
Well-
but man, am I bad at math.
Well, if you
This was
ride the
this was
horse-
a calculated move, but that's some Charlotte math right there.
All right.
Hashtag Charlotte
Well,
math.
This is some. My paladin wanted a horse. I have found horses. I can't leave them in the barn.
Also, how could you deny our wonderful viewers the mental image of a minotaur riding a horse?
Oh, I'm not riding a horse.
We'll get
Sir
we'll
Domino
get a
can ride the
wagon.
horse if he wants.
I like that, but we could get a wagon and throw provisions in it for the journey.
Indeed.
All right, Nyx, do your animal magic.
I will gently attempt to open the door.
Okay. Guess what, bud?
and I will get out of the way.
Let me
think
guess.
they're
The
just gonna-
barn's locked.
Yeah, you think they're just gonna leave that open so people can steal their horses?
Plan
Don't you make sense?
A.
Oh, you make sense.
24
That
to hit
hits.
the door.
Yeah, that hits.
Regular damage plus 2d10 lightning charges. That's 21 door damage.
That
Okay,
seems fair.
you have 0 problems hitting the broadside of a barn. Door. Uh, and the door just like splinters in front of your blade. And you can hear the shrill cries of the horses just get louder as now their safety is being breached. And so you can see that there are 4 horses in here. There are 3 chestnuts and 1 beautifully stark white horse, and each of them are rearing and snorting and moving around and trying to kick the walls, just trying desperately to escape.
You can't trick me, Charlotte. I've read books. These are cursed horses.
What?
The pale horse of death, eh? No.
Yes, we got death, pestilence, plague.
Nice.
That's
3 chestnuts and
same
a
thing.
okay.
Nice.
War, famine, death, and
I'll
pestilence.
turn to Nyx and I'll say, if you're able, let them know that we're their friends.
Okay, so she is so all of the horses are, you can see that she approaches one of them, muttering the incantation to one very particular spell. And so the horse closest to her is like this beautiful chestnut, and its ears are just plastered against its skull. Its eyes are wide, and its mouth is frothy. It is terrified, to the point where it may attack if somebody gets too close. So she says this incantation and then hesitates as her back is turned towards all of you. Can everybody roll me a perception check?
20. Holy crap.
15.
12. Oh, at least I'm consistent tonight.
I don't want to talk.
20, 15, 12, and I don't want to talk about it. I like this.
Solid.
It's
Okay.
a good spread.
So the 20 and the 15. So both of you immediately see her muscles tense just a little bit, and her left arm like jerks reflectively as if it's moving to cover the wound that is on her side. And you can see that all of her muscles she is very stressed in this particular moment, and she pauses before she says the incantation again. And again, you can see that very slight, but still deep reaction to that there is something horrendously wrong.
I'll rush over to her. And I'll just put my hand on her shoulder and I'll say, lean on me if you need to.
I can't do it. I can't.
This is for their sake, not ours.
Sorry, you don't understand. I can't do it. I can't talk to them.
The spell isn't working, or you can't even use it.
I don't know.
I turn to the rest of my friends and say, I know nothing about the magics that she wields. Would any of you have better insight?
I don't think this is anything that is going to be healed anytime. I think we should make way.
So this wound is cursed, perhaps? Stabbed by a poison blade? Is it a curse?
Yeah, like out of character. I can't think of anything that would.
Some people have emotions, and when those emotions are sad, it's hard. Have you seen Spider-Man 2?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Spider.
You fucking troll. Yes, I'm sure in character that is the very logical reason for why she can't cast her spell. But I'm just gonna turn to the rest of the party. I'm gonna say to Nix, it's all right. We will figure this out.
I'm just tired. I'm sorry.
You've done your job.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe more rest is required. I hear spells require great constitution.
Indeed. Sleep will cure all. For now, is anybody here just generally good with animals?
I'll do my best. I'll try and approach the closest.
I'll
Horse.
assist him.
Slowly. I am an elf, and I have ridden horses before, so I'll just go
All right.
slowly, calm it down, kind of speak in Elvish. We're here to rescue you.
Roll me an animal handling check.
All right. There's a
I'm
natural
assisting.
17.
Ooh, he didn't need the assistance. Do you have a wisdom modifier on top of that?
I have no wisdom modifier, but I rolled a natural 17, so I'm good.
Okay. So you immediately just put your hands up and start moving very slowly towards this horse. Just speaking in the soothing, subtle tones of Elvish, which is a very flowy, flowery sort of sounding language, and you almost lull it a little bit as you're just coming up to it and just saying it's okay, everything's okay, hey buddy, it's okay. And you manage to get the horse's attention, and its ears start going from being glued against its skull to rotating forwards, and it's still very skittish. Its eyes are quite wide. It is still very scared. But you have managed to placate this horse into at least not attacking you out of fear. And as this horse stops reacting in the way that it did, the rest of the horses are like, "Oh, okay, we're still really nervous, but maybe this isn't so bad."
All right, then I'll approach slowly, offer it some of my water skin to see if it's dehydrated. And if it takes the water, then I will gently take the reins, open the gate, and start
it's in a stall. It's not wearing any reins. You can see that the
Okay.
reins are hanging on a hook next to the
Well,
stall.
I'll get those off after I offer it some water, give it a chance to chill out a little bit, and then I'll slowly try and put the reins over its head and lead it out so the other horses can see me doing so.
Okay. So you grab just this beautiful set of leather reins, and you can see that there's a small nameplate on the side of it. This horse's name is Saber.
All right, I'll say for you, Saber.
And as you say his name, his ears prick even more forwards, and he saunters up so that his head and his neck are just over the edge of the stable, so like the gated area of his little stable, so that you can put it on easily. You seem to have his attention now, and he is visibly calming as you begin to touch him and comfort him further with just your presence.
All right, well, I will lead Saber and hand the reins to Nyx. You are still great with animals. And then I'll go to the next stable and try and repeat the process.
Okay. I'm just gonna let you keep the role that you had. This one's name is Dredge.
Dredge, easy Dredge.
Is he
Beautiful
grumpy?
rains for Dredge.
He's grumpy, isn't he?
Ditto.
He's a little
Ditto.
grumpy. He's a bit of a grumpy horse.
All right.
He seems to be one of those asshole horses that tends to nip, whether or not.
Right. So saber for war and dredge for death. Right. What's the next horse?
All right. I will give this the reins to Bovidus.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll move on to the third stable.
Okay. So the third horse is named Winchester.
Nice.
Don't roll your eyes.
No, I'm
It's
trying to
just
think
been a
of
black
I'm trying to
Impala?
because like Winchester's a gun.
Winchester for war.
It's just
There's
a cool
a
sounding
Winchester
name.
Tavern in Cleveland.
Winchester.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, so easy Winchester, the range. Your range, Winchester. Easy.
Okay.
Good boy.
This one seems particularly young. Maybe 3 or 4 at the most. So she's a bit of a handful, but she's it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Is that really how young horses are when you ride? I don't know anything about horses. I'm genuinely.
I also don't know very much about horses, but I think they have to be at least 5 before you can actually ride them.
Okay.
I think.
Take your word for it. All right, and then so Winchester, smaller.
Because they
so-
they race horses when they're like 2, but apparently that is terrible for them, and that's why they don't have very much longevity. Science Minute with Charlotte. Because all of
Yeah, 2
their
years
bones
old.
haven't.
Goddamn, that's sad.
Yeah, so you're supposed to wait until they're like 5 and just kind of walk them like really big dogs until they're 5,
Oh
and then you
right,
can
horses
start riding
can
them.
like run when they're born, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saddle breaking starts around 2 years old.
Because
This
I don't know
one's
much
about
about
more,
horses.
for more horse-
Says a bunch of shit about horses.
You were
So-
right. You generally don't want to start riding a horse before they're 3 years old. And depending on the breed, the spine doesn't fully mature until around 6 years. So it's that 3 to 6 year old range, depending on the breed of horse, where you can start training them to accept a rider. But like using them as a daily riding horse, you wouldn't do at all before they're 3, and probably not until they're 4 or 5.
I think
It's
I think
not
I've
it's not
taken this
Melody
off
the
track a
Maelstrom if you
little
don't learn something. It's not Melody the Maelstrom if you don't learn something. If we don't go on some tangent about animals or science or both. The last horse, the beautiful white horse, is named Rava.
Easy, Rava. Look at you, Rava. You must be from an aristocrat. And I will rein up Rava and keep Rava as my steed.
Yeah, the elf on the white horse is what I was waiting for.
Yeah, the pale elf on the.
Also, the fact that you named it after your car.
I named my car after something. Thank you, you uncultured swine. Anybody in the comments want to enlighten Kyle as to who or what Rava is?
It's pudding.
I'll send you a cookie. All right.
I'm sure Mandy's about to tell me.
Probably.
It's semolina. No, it's a thing. It's
I
food.
don't know what it is.
It's
We'll
food.
find out.
It's the color of the horse.
So,
So you now have 4 horses.
all right.
That's great. That's great.
So,
Um,
not wanting to immediately be down to 3, I don't mount my horse, and I pass the reins to Father Imbaro.
Cheers.
Perhaps there's a cart we could hook at least 2 of these up to.
Yeah. Are there any carts or wagons or anything like that in or around the stable?
There are a bunch of them within the entertainment area of the city, where a bunch of individuals were using carts as ways to sell their wares. You remember one cart in particular, which was run by a beautiful half orc named Orchid. And
Half-orc
that
named
cart would
Orchid?
probably suit your needs very well.
All right. Well, I'll lead everybody back to that cart then.
Excellent.
So you lead the horses out into the storm, and they're all very jumpy. And Winchester does just buck a lot, just because she's a baby and she's scared. So she does take a lot of extra calming in order to just kind of follow you. And Dredge is just not interested at all in following whoever it is that's leading him. I think it's... No, it wasn't Nyx.
I handed Dredge off to Father Umbaro.
Okay.
I continuously cast the friend spell to give me advantage on charisma checks. So animal friendship.
We're friends.
It's been
Don't bite me.
well more than 10 minutes, so
Don't bite me.
It's a cantrip. I'ma do it.
When we take a rest and you stop casting friends on that horse,
Mhm.
it really will be one of the 4 horses of the apocalypse.
Emotionally abuses horse until it goes on a revenge. It's the next Tarantino movie.
Just gaslighting a horse into a vendetta.
Well done.
Oh,
There was a game going on, guys.
we found the cart. We found the cart.
Meow. All right. So, you guys find the cart, and it is currently abandoned. But you can see all of the wilted remains of what once was a beautiful flower stand.
That's a shame.
I-
Do we see the body of Orchid?
Do you want to?
Well, could give her a proper burial or blessing.
Roll me a perception check.
That's a natural 3.
You are spared the sight of her body. Amongst so many, it's just hard to discern one from another.
The city of death. Let us be gone from this cursed place.
Indeed. I'll begin unloading the wilted wares and throwing my bag into the cart. Anybody who wants to
Wilted
ride
Wares.
up? Yeah.
Great band name.
Ooh. And so yeah, I'll throw everything up in there and then see who wants to ride the cart.
So this is
you
a
won't,
mark-
because you have the wind lance. You need to stay with it.
I'll be next to the driver. That gives us like a center point. So like, is it wide enough for 2 people to sit on the driver's bench?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, then
I'll
it's
allow
probably
that.
Rendell, right? Rendell
Sure.
could drive. I assume.
Cool with that, Rendell?
As long as I'm not riding a horse. Faces.
Perfect. I'll ride a horse so I can scout up front. Is this a market district?
This is the market district, yes.
Perhaps we could find a wagon that might have had some provisions.
I would be leery of any provisions that have been left out
In
in
the
the
rain.
storm.
About That's a good point. Or the ale. We all know the ale here is
Mm.
tainted.
It's like if you leave a grilled cheese sandwich out in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Listen, we've all been to college, Charlotte. Don't judge.
I am 33 years old, and I have definitely eaten pizza that has been sitting on the table for a week. I'm just going to.
You've
I'm
gotten street meat in Toronto, right? That thing could hit the sidewalk and roll 3 times. I'd still.
Yup. So
I ate a
I'll
cookie
just-
out of the floor of a parking lot the other day.
Well, there was
This
a
is
game
a good
going
fucking
on.
cookie, and I wasn't about to waste it.
It's true, she did. I saw it.
Witness?
And this is why, like, you know, in medieval times, like, you just had to make it past 30 and you'd live to like 70. Like, this is why you.
Yeah. Because you eat shit. You really shouldn't.
Just wound up immune to everything.
If you guys
so-
would like to search for provisions, you are more than welcome to do so.
I think we should just make way, and anything that we need, we could probably find along the trail.
No,
given the
another
state of
3.
this-
Look at that.
Given the state of this city, I don't believe there will be too many others attempting to live off the land, so we should be well equipped to do so. And then just for logistics' sake, out of character, if Rendell and I are sitting at the on the driver's bench,
Mhm.
we got the 3 horses kind of spread around, like one on one side, 2 on the other on my side. That should give more or less, and then everybody that's not on a horse in the wagon should be pretty much a 10-foot radius.
Well,
That's safe.
technically, are these large
Actually-
horses? Like, they are
Uh,
large size, right? Like,
Horses are large creatures, yes.
Yes, but you said they were small. So are they
One of
medium
them
horses
is-
or are they large?
One of them is small. The rest of them are regular horses.
Okay,
are
so
large
3 of them
creatures.
are large size and 1 of them are medium. Is what you're saying.
One of them's a baby. I mean, it's young. It's not like it's a little bit smaller.
I'm saying in terms of like how many squares they will occupy on the map, because a large size horse fits 2 squares.
each
So-
horse is gonna occupy 2 squares.
You're
So
not
I'm
gonna
doing the same thing that you are. I'm about to put a bunch of
10-foot
horses onto.
the carts as wide as
You could protect all of the horses if it was just you and the horses all just kind of together in a 10-foot radius.
Cool. Watch
well,
that
no,
we
with
have
the 2 people
I
with the
can't
2
protect their
people on
riders?
there and 1 person on the other horse, you could just do it if it's tough. You have to do it You have to do it 2 horses on
Okay, how about
either
this?
side of the.
How about this? I'm going to give you the map, and you can go ahead if you can arrange the horses in a way
Yeah, sure.
that they are all in a 10-foot radius with a large wagon. You can have them.
Oh, awesome! Dude, I do these. I excelled in kindergarten. I'm great at. I got the
Yes,
square peg and the square hole.
kindergarten.
So I'm gonna.
Right before I
Where's
fell
the
off.
where does the circle peg go? That's right, in the square hole.
Where's the circle pit go?
Listen, every time I went to the dentist, you know, you gotta play like the cube
Okay.
on the metal string.
I'm gonna draw you
Perfect.
4 squares. No, 5, because one of them is a wagon. Okay, if you can fit all of those
Where did you put them?
in a 10-foot radius, because everybody
I'm
can
gonna-
occupy one
Charlotte,
of the
no
one
one
of the
can see
squares.
what you're talking.
I know, but I'm gonna let you do it while I continue talking.
Okay. Yes, give the children something to distract them.
Yes, here, look, I gave you a puzzle. Enjoy your puzzle. Okay, anywho. For right now, the horses are fine? Question mark?
Fine question mark. Where'd the puzzle go?
Oh, did I not put you on the... That would help if I put you
That's
on
what I was
the
trying to tell
actual-
you, but then you got mad.
There
Hey.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, and then I will even give you your 10-foot radius sphere to fit all of those into. Have fun.
We can't.
All right. So while while Steve is doing a puzzle, all of you gather up
Okay,
into the wagon. Actually, yeah, that would work. Okay.
Square peg, baby.
This is the arch. Where does that go? In the square hole. All right. So they have pretty easily determined that all of these things would stop drawing more. Stop it. Would easily fit into a 10-foot radius sphere, which helps me because I don't have to murk any horses today, which I really didn't want to do. So, I named them. I don't want to. I don't want to kill any of them. All right. So, the horses pretty quickly realize that they are safe from the spoopy noises that are going on around them. I'm assuming you don't hook up Winchester, just because Winchester is a bebe.
Yeah.
Correct.
We'll hook up. Actually, given the size of the cart, we'll hook up 2 horses to the front.
Mhm.
Domino
That's
can
really the
ride.
only way it works.
Everybody else clusters into the cart, and the other horse is led along.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. And then
work.
I'll scout ahead. I'll be ahead like 10 feet, riding 10 feet in front of.
No, you
the
won't.
wagon.
No, you will
We
not.
just established
Oh,
you got to
damn
stay
it.
near the windland.
You're right. I forgot.
Well, we
We're
did.
not
my
killing that
paladin
horse.
We
instinct.
just spent
We just
15
want
minutes
this horse to
putting
get your
boxes
horse.
into a box.
We're not
Guys.
killing your horse.
It's okay. It's okay. Like 3 sessions ago, I established that Bird doesn't get electrocuted, so we can scout with.
That'll work. I was tending to Winchester. I missed the conversation.
It's okay.
I'm just imagining he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ride my horse too, and he's just like petting it the whole time. Like, you're so pretty, Rava. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Ooh, choo, choo, choo. I'm gonna give you an acorn when I find one. What was that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys finally
18 sessions.
begin making your way out of this city.
Hold on, I
Um,
forgot something at the jail.
Oh, god damn it.
At the door, at the gate,
Hey,
there's a
grab
random-
him by the neck before he gets off the cart.
There
We
was only a joke.
checked. He's not there. Plunk.
Are the gates open?
I've got
the
something
gates-
for that.
The gates are always open. As you guys would know.
That's
But
so
right. What about Potato? What was his name? Taterman?
Stew?
Hash Brown?
Stew?
What's his name?
Stew Stewery? Yeah.
He's already
his
That
dead.
guy?
He probably drowned in the sewers.
He's like a rat. He could swim.
Perhaps
Fucking
one day
cockroach.
we will see him
He's
again.
like a
It is not
Cockroach.
this
He's just gonna
day.
appear when you don't want him to.
And the wind whispered Australia.
Wouldn't that be awful?
Did you?
Alright.
Dude.
So. Oh my god.
Didgery, god damn it!
How about you didgeridoo don't and let me talk? Alright. So, you guys finally begin making your way out of the city, leaving the fetid stench of death and the beginnings of decay finally behind you. And begin making your way north. I believe. Making your way. We pop you back on the world map here.
Ding, dang, doodly.
Yeah, it's like that episode with all the different Flanders, the Flanders reunion. It's Australian.
Charmed. A Google.
Okay, so, because I have entirely forgotten, you guys are making your way north. Yes?
Yeah, we're going northwest up the coast because we want the most chance of getting caught in a storm. And
What I was gonna suggest, before we went on a horse gathering tangent, was to propose to everyone. As much as we do need to seek out Guardian Cove, I am leery about our prospect of finding a ship anywhere along the coastline, and clearly there are none remaining here. Perhaps, does that say Medlow City? The one on the south
Medlow.
coast?
Yes.
Medlow?
Yeah.
Perhaps we would be better off finding a ship or charter in Medlow City that could take us to the cove.
I have a question for Charlotte.
Yes, I have an answer.
How
Hopefully.
how many biplanes are there in this world? How common is the helicopter?
One. One. That you know
Just
of.
the
There's
one.
one. Just one.
Okay.
And it belongs to a Monsieur Hector Windlance.
So
Oh, he's French now.
okay, so we could. Man, I just want to. Can we not fight a dragon on a helicopter? Really?
Maybe we can find
Not one
another
that's-
Isn't that
dragon,
Not one
charter
that's
the other
designed for a
dragon,
gnome.
fly to Guardian Cove on the back of our dragon, and fight the first dragon on the back of a dragon.
we could like paradrop Bovidius with the windlands like onto it.
No, it deals lightning damage. It would be immune.
Not to the
Yeah,
piercing
I
part.
know. That's what I was thinking. It might be
Hmm.
immune. That sucks. But I bet
Okay.
the children of the storm aren't.
I'll tell you this though, I'm gonna be holding it when it looks at me and opens its mouth.
Okay, so what does the way to Mingleborp? What's the city called?
Medlow
Mingleborp.
City.
Medlow City.
Yeah,
That's the
Mingleborg is
opposite
the colloquial
direction.
name.
Mingleborp. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
definitely.
I can't read the blue text on the.
It is the
Fine.
nearest
I'm-
port.
The blue
that
text on
working
the
on
blue
it.
background?
It
Yeah,
is
to
the
me, that
nearest
reads
port
mid-
that would guarantee us a ship.
Yeah, so the path to the way there, is it through the mountains or is it like around the? Because we're in
Sorry, I asked that
Stormfell,
question, yeah. Yes, you guys are currently in
Yeah.
Stormfell.
so we'd have to go through the mountains, or do we go around?
You can
Well,
do either.
It's the opposite direction. We got a cart. We got horses. Let's just truck it.
He's
Truck it till
saying,
we get there.
Bovidius is saying that like if we go the other way, right? He's doubtful we'll find a ship from the coast, but he's saying if we hit the next major city, even though it would delay us, we would be guaranteed a ship.
It's farther than the cove.
Well, we maybe get a ship, saving that Medlow hasn't been attacked as well.
If they are following us and they haven't been to that coast, it's also something to consider. I think we could potentially risk it. There must be vessels that go to and even ones that are possibly illegal might be able to navigate our way. I
would ask then
might
that you-
agree with Sir Domino.
I would ask then that you beseech your gods to aid us in our search for passage across the channel, for it is too far for any of us to swim.
Is
We
there
have to make it work.
Is there a road to Guardian's Cove that runs along the shoreway?
No.
Perhaps we could spot a ship or pirates or a dock of some sort on our journey. We've got a week.
I mean,
Is there like a coastal road or anything like that, or is it just like game paths and things like that?
It's more. If there were roads, they are ancient and probably not well maintained. Like, think of a snowmobile trail in northern Ontario.
The roads are not well kept, and few are likely to have held up. However, if we at least maintain a coastal tack, hopefully we can get this cart where it needs to go. Going will be treacherous, and we will need our wits about us. However, we shall keep our eyes peeled on the sea and hope to flag down some type of passage. Let us head north.
And leave the city of Stormfell.
Stormhell. I like that.
Stormhell.
Stormhell's better at this point.
I'm not celebrating until Charlotte says we've left.
Yes, we're going north.
I did say that you left.
Over
So
the hills and far away.
all of you begin making your way northward, just kind of clinging to the faint remainder of what once was an ancient road that was probably traversed hundreds upon hundreds of years ago. Lucky for you, this particular road was very well built, so it didn't require much maintenance. But there are still occasional times where the wheel of one of the wheels of the wagon just kind of drops into a divot that you guys didn't see, or one of the horses makes an occasional stumble, just kind of dipping their hoof into a very deep pothole that you guys didn't see. But other than that, there's not a huge amount of incidents that occur within your first day of travel. And as you guys leave Stormfell behind, the continuous downpour does eventually just turn into this dreary kind of drizzle. It is continuously raining. It is still very dark. It is very cloudy. But the rumbling of the thunder and the strikes of lightning seem to have ceased.
Interesting.
Once I get comfortable with like a long enough stretch of no lightning strikes, I'll just kind of affix the wind lance to the center of the bench, so that I don't have to be holding it constantly.
And then probably just stretches like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I've been sitting like that
Yeah.
for hours.
There's a lot of knots in the back to crack.
So, Mbara will turn to the others and ask, did we make the wrong choice?
Only time will tell, my friend. I believe from our position, the only wrong choice we could have made was no choice at all.
No, I mean the storm's dying down and we're going in the wrong direction. If we're hunting the dragon, we follow the
I don't know. I thought I muted that.
We have no evidence that the dragon brought the storm. It would seem that the cult brought the storm through their ritual, and the dragon was simply a side effect. Actually, question. Thinking back to my vision, was it storming heavily on the plains when the dragon was attacking in the same way that it was in Stormfell?
What he's asking is, does the rain fall mainly on the plain?
So I'll communicate that as well, actually. I'll say to Father Mbaro, when I held your book, I saw much carnage, death, and that dragon. But there was no storm. Or at least, not nearly as much of one as we have just left. It would seem that while the dragon is at home in it, it does not take its home with it.
Well, I trust him.
Sorry, I did not hear that.
I trust the book.
Very good.
Travel music. Oh, we need an
It's like-
overland song.
Fuck.
It's like boring elevator music, essentially.
How far from the water would you say we are?
You guys are still up pretty high from the water. Essentially, you guys are on like this very, very tall cliffside, and it's just sort of very gently descending. You guys are still hundreds of feet above the surface of the water still.
And then as far as, would you say, so what are we talking, like 300 feet away is the water, like as the bird flies?
Also, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So,
How high? Oh, wait, I can do this for you. How high?
so you guys are like 200 feet up, and then like maybe 30, 40 feet away from the edge of the cliff. So like the thing.
So we're close. We're really close to the water. If we were to jump
No.
off, we'd.
You would die.
It's quite the
You
fall.
would die. 200
Come on,
feet.
we're
You would
basically
die.
gods.
That's a
waiting for
20
you to
story.
jump.
That's a 20
Well,
story
actually-
drop, dude.
Actually, that is
My-
the. I think that is the limit of where fall damage caps. It's 20.
You will hit terminal velocity.
Not at
before
200 feet.
You hit the water.
Oh, so the water is there.
You will
I was just
accelerate at
trying to figure out how
9.8
close
meters
the
per
water-
second until you hit the solid surface akin to concrete
Okay.
that is water.
Okay, so the
For
cloud
example,
cover.
20d6 that I just rolled was 77 damage.
So the cloud cover is very thick above the water. Like we would not be able to see things flying above the water at all.
It's not above the water. It's just like this. It's this thick bank of clouds. But they are where clouds are supposed to be. There's no fog. And the driving torrential downpour has kind of lessened at this point. So you guys can see pretty far out into the ocean, and it's just black and ominous. And the water is still consistently moving. There are just these large waves just tipped with these white caps. It is very dangerous looking water.
Apparently, the record high dive is 196 feet. That's really impressive. Actually.
That's terrifying.
What a lunatic.
That.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, now I'm thinking about falling 20 stories. Thank you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. Like,
Thank you. That's great. Oh God. Okay, so as you guys spend a few hours just kind of making your way northward, everybody roll me a perception check, please. I think Kyle was saying mean
15.
things, but his microphone didn't pick them up.
I was saying
15.
balance is restored with a 7.
13.
16.
Okay.
15.
I guess I should roll for. Yep. All right. So, you guys are just kind of sitting in the wagon, just kind of letting the horses do their thing, just finally beginning to feel the tension of the last few days just begin to ebb as you finally leave everything that you saw behind, all of the death, all of the blood, all of like just the stench of foul decay in the air. And for a split second, you are at peace. Before you hear a very familiar voice say, "Now, where do you think you're going?" And that's where we're going to end the session for today.
That damn blue girl!
The blue
I was
folk.
really expecting it to be like, "Oh, guys, you forgot me and my potatoes too. Come with me."
What's from me?
Also, for the record, 33,000 feet and change is the record for a fall that somebody has survived without a parachute.
But like he had a suit.
He had a
No, she
suit.
didn't. No, she didn't.
She had a suit.
Okay, buddy Domino here, falling 200 feet in a suit of armor into
buddy Domino here in a set of full plate armor. Not gonna lie to you, bud. You're probably gonna pancake on the ocean.
Talk about real life, not D&D. Okay.
Okay.
Real life doesn't come with D6.
You're gonna hit the ocean flat, and the armor is just gonna crush, and you're gonna get squeezed out like a tube of toothpaste.
Yeah, do you know what
With
happens
stink.
when because you accelerate like 9.8 meters per second. So like
Well, tell that to Vezda Vulovic.
until you hit terminal velocity and then it balances
You
out.
must
So
have
you
been
can't
wearing
accelerate
real
anymore
baggy
because of wind
clothes. I don't
resistance.
know.
The wind resistance is kind of anyways.
No, that
Time
was
spent with Charlotte. That'll happen later.
Wasn't that the jump from like low atmo?
Anywho, we can talk about this in a minute, guys.
The world needs to know.
Oh my
We're all-
gosh! All right. Oh god, who introduced the party is for motherfucker? Come on! No.
Thank you, Otter.
I love you guys. You're great.
Love you too.
See, I could play with fire and talk about how I didn't really feel that one, but there's also a bad guy with a knife at our backs, so.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so let's just kind of go around the table, I guess. Unfortunately, some people are missing, which makes it a little awkward. But so Steve, I'm just gonna say, like, I love the way that you play your character. You always come up with super creative uses for everything, so I am always surprised and terrified by what you may or may not choose to do with what you're like the plethora of things that your character is capable of. You consistently keep me on my toes, which is awesome, but also how dare you. Domino. No problem. Domino, I love the way that you're always willing to step up to the plate, essentially. If somebody else fails or can't do it or is just incapable of dealing with something in that moment, you seem to be ready with a solution, but you're not always ready with that. Like, you know, it's not like you're immediately providing the solution. You let other people try before you're like, hey, listen, I can solve this. We're good. So you do have the solution, but you're not pushy about it. You don't occupy more of the table than you should. And it makes you a phenomenal player. And it's really fun to watch that you're just part of the party. And always helpful, and it's awesome. Vividius,
Thank
you or Kyle, Vividius, your roleplay has always been and will always be phenomenal. I find myself genuinely nervous when you start talking to Nyx and I feel like you're gonna tell her off. I'm like, oh crap, he's gonna yell at me because I'm being stupid. Like, oh crap, I don't wanna piss off Vividius. Fuck. So yeah, it's like it's a really good marker of genuinely good roleplay if you instill like genuine emotions, and you make me fucking nervous whenever you're talking to Nyx. Like, I'm gonna get yelled at, and I don't like it. And I know it's a really shitty thing, but like, Rendell, your commitment so much to the accent where you're talking out of character, but you're still talking in character. You are so consistent with that accent. Like, no matter what you say, I know it's you talking, and although I don't, because it's always Rendell talking. So your commitment to the bit is legendary, and it is amazing. And as somebody else who has to fully commit to accents, I appreciate that you are also making that huge commitment of having a character, like an accent for a character, because that's a big slice of cake to take on your plate, and you're doing it, and you're killing it.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna give compliments to the 2 people that aren't here, because that seems fair, because I would compliment them were they here, and they shouldn't miss out on some love just because they're unfortunately unable to attend today. So I'm gonna comment on Fidget, always, and just Ben as a player, never really questioning why I ask for a perception or an investigation roll, even though he doesn't like it. If he doesn't like the role that I'm making him roll, he does it anyways, and he does it without question, because he just, and it's a lot easier on me when it's just, hey, roll this. Okay, absolutely, and he rolls it. And yeah, his commitment to his character as well is just on par. It's like, he does not what is best for the party, not what Ben wants to do. He does what Fidget would do, and that is entirely respectable. And I'm gonna shout out to Renthazar, and we haven't really gotten to know his character yet, unfortunately, but I know that he's got a lot in store for you guys, and I am just super duper excited to see the full fleshing out of this character, because we all know what he's fucking capable of. So I am so excited to see that character get the chance to grow along with the rest of you, because I kind of murdered Talon. So. And with that, I think I'm going to include all of you in our appreciation as well, because we can sit here, we can play D&D, but honestly, all of the feedback that we get, everybody commenting, making jokes, all of the cow puns, as much as Kyle complains about them, they are all appreciated.
Hey,
you guys
I
can
started
change, you
them
guys
and
can
I
spoons,
acknowledge this.
and it's so much more interesting to be able to interact with an audience and have you guys respond in real time, which is something we are all still getting used to, but it's not a bad thing. It's genuinely amazing. And so we appreciate all of you immensely, and we just thank you for being here. And as we close out this year for Melody of the Maelstrom, this is our last episode before the end of this year. So with that, we're probably just gonna roll into those end credits, because there's not much else I can say. So thank you again to D&D Beyond. Thank you again to Effects May Vary. Be sure to check out our Patreon. Shout out to Mama Bear. You're amazing. Thank you for continuing to support us. And there's one more. Oh, and check out our merch. We have a merch store. It's got stuff. You should go buy it. And my brain just turned off. So
Title card?
Happy
So-
holidays.
everybody, happy holidays, and we will. And actually, one more thing. So the if you want to check out any of the other streams, the only stream that is left, that because Valley by Night has concluded, they have run their final episode, and they will be starting a new game within the new year. So we're all really excited to see how that turns out. But it seems like the only individuals left are them. So go give them some hell for us, please. Which is the individuals on Wednesday of Foscallan Nights. And we will retaliate in kind.
With
So,
holiday cheer.
ending the year with a threat, as is pretty common of me. We wish all of you the happiest of holidays. Please be safe. Drive safe. Enjoy time with your families. We are going to do the same. And we will see all of you at episode 19 of Melody of the Maelstrom next year. Happy holidays, guys.